The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of We're Done Here. Please like and subscribe to our podcast wherever you may be listening to this. Today, we're here with a very interesting guest that has Egyptian makeup. Give it up for Dria Curtwright.
Thank you.
How's it going, Dria?
It's good.
Nice. So we met a few years ago, I believe, because you're a comedian on the scene.
Yep.
But let us know how you got into comedy and where are you from? I don't know. I actually don't know anything about you.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Tampa, Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I actually started doing comedy in Boston.
Oh, wow. I hate Boston.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I hear that a lot. It's
Yeah,
all right.
it's a horrible place.
New Yorkers seem to hate it. But,
Yeah.
no, I started doing comedy in Boston. I moved there because I got a job, and I kind of just, fell into it. So
Nice.
I always had, a really bad, stage fright. And so I thought, comedy would be, the best way to kind of, confront it, basically.
Nice. That's really smart. Have you confronted it? I think so.
Oh, I confront it, every day. Yeah.
Yes. Are you still afraid on stage or no?
Oh, all the time, yeah.
Got it. And then when did you move here to New York? I feel like you came here a few years ago.
Yeah, it's been 2.5 years.
Oh, nice. And I know you do a lot of roast battles.
That's right.
You're really good roast. I still one of your jokes about what's his name?
Devin.
Yeah, that lives in my head.
Yeah.
A child drawing of a pastor. Yes. If you ever look up Devin.
It's like a child's drawing of a businessman.
Yes, that's what it was. And that explains him very accurately. That's still my favorite joke of all time. Got it. So yeah, I love that. So how long have you been in the comedy scene now, you feel?
About 5 years, I would say.
Oh, nice. That's really good. And then you're pretty active, I don't know, roast battle scene. We already talked about that. You do a lot of shows in Brooklyn. You're here in Manhattan.
Yeah.
What do you love about comedy? Or maybe you don't love it. Yeah.
No, I love comedy. Sometimes it's a love-hate relationship, but I love comics. I feel like it attracts a lot of very interesting personalities.
Oh my God, you like comics? No one likes us. You're the only one. That's great.
But yeah, I feel I like the vulnerability of it, I think. Yeah.
I like that a lot. Okay, awesome. And today we're here to talk about a very important topic. This is We're Done Here pod, emotional wellness comedy, whatever. I don't know what that means, but we're here to talk about autism. And specifically, I want to focus on the fact that you're a Black woman with autism, because I feel like if we have a neurological disorder, we don't even acknowledge it,
right,
or we won't even talk about it. And it's like, well, that's just how they are, kind of thing. So I kind of want to talk about that today. And yeah, tell us your journey. When did you know you were autistic, or how did this happen?
So I was diagnosed with autism kind of late. So I was 17, I think, when I was diagnosed. But I kind of sought out a diagnosis because I suspected that I had it. I did a lot of research online. But yeah, I got diagnosed. I'm I have all my paperwork or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's been interesting. I feel there's a lot of challenges associated with it. People think of an autistic person and they don't really think of a Black woman. So it's
that is true. You know what? That's so true. So do you think you were diagnosed later in life? When I hear about Black people being diagnosed later in being diagnosed with autism, it is always later in life.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a racial component to that?
I think, there's a few aspects of it. I think one, is being a woman.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be diagnosed if you're a woman because, it presents differently.
Yeah.
But also, being Black, it, adds another layer to it, I would say.
Got it. So tell us more about, I guess, how does it present differently? And, just to clarify, what is autism for our guests?
Autism is it's a neurological condition where it's associated with social difficulties, sensory issues, executive dysfunction, but it also presents differently because there's a whole spectrum associated with it.
Okay.
So there's high functioning autism, which is where it's less noticeable when you talk to people, which is what I have.
Yeah.
But then on the opposite side of the spectrum, there's people who are nonverbal. So yeah.
Oh, I guess I never known about any nonverbal individuals, but there are probably a bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't like meet them. Like it's like
Okay, that makes sense. Like outside.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And do you feel like autism is a little trendy? It's so stupid to say, but I feel like it's really trendy right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I see like even with like within comedy, I feel like people say it all the time, and it's like I don't know. I mean, I guess because social media or whatever, it's like become popular. But there's like a lot of people who are self-diagnosed.
Yeah.
Like so, I don't know how legitimate that is.
Got it. So, being an autistic woman, what would you say? Why did you seek out help? What were some difficulties you were having?
Well, I mean, I always was kind of like socially awkward. So I think I was like, I wanted to like, it's about self-awareness. So like I was like doing research about myself and like trying to figure out, like what is wrong with me exactly. So I think I just like kind of stumbled on it. And my mom, like, she works with like autistic kids. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. How has this manifested like in your adult life, in school? Like, what are some situations where you feel like your autism is kind of front and center, if you will?
I think like social situations, it's like pretty apparent for me. Like sometimes it's like hard for me to make friends and stuff.
Got it.
Or like express myself. Like I think like sometimes it's hard for me to interact with people because I'm like less emotionally expressive than a lot of people, and people are like kind of suspicious of that. I think sometimes.
That makes sense. Yeah, I guess we are a little suspicious of it.
Especially like as a woman, I think. Yeah, it's like people like make different assumptions about you than if you're like introverted or like not expressive. Like if I were a man, it would be different.
That's true. Yeah, we're expected to be very, well, I guess I'm a little animated, but
yeah,
I can imagine like if you're not an animated woman, then it comes like people are like, they want you to be warm. They want you to be, society wants so much from women in general. So what about dating? Has that been like, is that hard or?
I think in some ways it's hard because it's like, I like mostly do like online dating, I would say. And so people see pictures of me and they kind of like they come up with an idea of who I am based on like what I look like. And then I show up and I'm like completely different than what they thought. Yeah. And comedy too, it also is like.
Oh, really? In comedy as well? Like people make assumptions? Like,
it impacts me like significantly.
What types of assumptions are people making?
Well, like I get, like when I first came to New York, I got booked a lot because of like the way that I look, like basically, because they're like, oh, you're a black woman, you can make black people laugh, basically.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Or like, we need like a female comic on the show or whatever. And like I started doing comedy in Boston, so I was doing comedy in front of like specific types of crowds.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like white people.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So when I first came to New York, I started doing like different types of rooms, like black rooms, like, just more diverse crowds.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was a challenge.
Okay, because they're like, who that? What she got to say? Got it. No, that makes sense. And for our listeners, like different rooms, different ethnic breakdowns of rooms, there are something in comedy, like, can you... It's known that I don't know, black people, we think it's easier to make white people laugh than it is to make black people laugh. And white people are really conscious of a joke, whereas black people are really conscious of like energy.
Stage
and,
presence.
Exactly. And stage presence and how, are you funnier than me?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Especially in New York. All New Yorkers think they're funnier than everyone.
Yeah.
The black and the white ones and all the in-between ones. So that's an interesting dichotomy, I guess, that you're mentioning, the balance of that.
No, like the worst bombs I've ever had have always been in front of black audiences.
Yeah, black people hard to make laugh.
They're discerning. Yeah.
We've all bombed our worst in front of black audiences, just so you're not alone with that.
Yeah.
So I get that. That's so funny. Okay, so there's that. In terms of like work and professional life, you talked about comedy, but like earlier on, because you've been doing comedy for about 5 years, earlier on, how does this manifest in the workplace?
Well, I mean, I think I like gravitated towards like tech because of my autism, probably. Because it's like I'm not like really a people person.
Okay.
And I think I like tech because it's like I kind of just like stay like by myself and like get my work done, basically like concentrate.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you gravitated towards an industry that like kind of worked in your favor, if you will.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like the tech industry really like attracts autistic people.
I feel like there's a bunch of them there. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And comedy, honestly.
Exactly.
So you're doing the things that basically the autistic folk do.
Right.
Do you guys have like a community, like where you like
guys,
hang out?
like autistic people?
Yeah.
Like a club? I mean,
like a club or something? Like, is there like an online chat room? I don't know.
You know, besides like comedy, I mean, like.
Oh yeah, I guess comedy.
No, I'm not in any chat rooms. I mean, I'm on Reddit. Like, I'm a Reddit mod, so I feel like, you know.
Is that like a community or not really?
Yeah, I would say it's a community.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. What are they doing there?
And Reddit?
I mean, I know what they do in Reddit, but like Reddit mod, you said, what's that?
Oh, yeah. Well, like, it's like structured. It's like forums, and then like everybody like makes their own communities, and like you could like.
Like the actual Reddit thing.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Got
you know,
it.
you have like Facebook groups.
No. So there's no actual like, we are autistic group.
Probably there is. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not a part of it, but I'm not quite autistic enough to be a part of it yet. I wasn't invited. Yeah.
Got it. Do you know any other autistic comedians here in New York City that you connect with?
I feel like I assume that people are artistic if I meet them through comedy, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, what is his name? He's dating like Natalie Cuomo.
Oh yeah, Dan Lamont.
Yeah.
He's autistic.
I was about to say Dan Wicks. He's technically he's not.
No, Dan
not
Wicks
diagnosed.
Not,
not diagnosed.
Dan Wicks has Tourette's.
Yes.
He said it on this podcast.
Yeah.
But he might be autistic. We don't know. He said don't say that.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh yeah, Dan Lamont, he's autistic.
Yeah.
Got it.
He talks about it, yeah.
Oh yeah, he does talk about it.
But a lot of people are talking about it.
Everyone's autistic nowadays. I'm like,
Yeah.
when did this happen?
Yeah.
Like somebody was saying, no one has bulimia anymore. Everyone's just autistic.
Bulimia?
That used to be a thing. Like everyone had an eating disorder, and now everyone's autistic. I'm like,
Yeah.
what happened to the eating
It's
disorders?
not in vogue anymore, I guess.
Is it maybe they just was autistic the whole time. Anyway, that's what. So as it relates to how do you think your race plays into that, being a black woman? Because you mentioned women, and it's true. I've read this before because I had a friend talk about how she's autistic, and she was like around 25 at the time, and she said she got a late diagnosis because
Right.
she was a woman.
Yeah.
And then Amanda Seales just came out and says she's autistic.
Yeah.
And she's actually a 40-year-old woman.
Right.
And then there's a bunch of the black women in general that do like, actually I started looking at the symptoms. I was like, there's tons of black women that do weird things all the time. They probably are autistic, but they would never say they are.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how does this manifest? Like, I don't know. Like in terms of like in terms of like, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, how does that manifest in the community even?
I mean, I think it's impacted me in a few different ways. Like, one of the ones is, like, I grew up in a predominantly white community. Like, I was kind of, like, I started making black friends, I think, when I went to college, but also, like, when I moved to New York, too. And I think it was, like, a lot harder for me to, like, code switch and kind of, like, fit in. Like, I already felt, like, kind of a sense of, like, alienation, I think, because I just grew up. I wasn't, like, a part of the culture. So.
Got it.
But also, yeah, I think it made it more difficult because it's like I'm like kind of introverted, like, and it's like people can't read what I'm thinking, like when I'm talking.
That makes sense.
So I think it made it harder to make friends. It made it harder to make friends with women too, I think, because it's just the language is different. Like,
got it. So it's just basically it just makes everything a little bit more harder. Do you find yourself trying harder, or do you find yourself just getting frustrated? Like, what is that balance?
I mean, I guess I get frustrated sometimes, but like, I don't know. I mean, I like people. Like, I try and be myself. I mean, I feel like it's almost impossible for me not to be myself, you know? Because it's like, I'm not good at like lying or like acting. And like, that's
I'm
like
not good at lying either.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I do try, of course, you know.
Got it. And you mentioned you haven't made. Are you fully black? Or are you some ethnic background?
No, both my parents are black.
Oh, okay. So they black. So you know.
But there's a lot of different types of black.
No, that's true. What type of black are you?
I don't know. That's a good question. What type of black are you? Go first.
So I'm my dad's African, so I'm Liberian, and then my mom's Black American. Yeah. And I'm New York black, so I have it's different. So I have half immigrant family, half Black American family. But it's harder. It's not as hard to assimilate to Black American culture, but there is like a barrier there. Like I'm not really into sports because my dad's African. Right. Like these diaspora wars make no sense to me because like. half my family is African, and I'm just like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And then like there's a legacy Black American culture here in United States, like HBCUs and all the other stuff. And my family is really like third generation New York City.
Yeah.
So if it's not New York, we don't really even care about it. Like it's Harlem. Like that's our like reference to everything.
Yeah.
So whatever's going on in the Deep South with those Blacks is like, too many generations removed to care.
Right.
Or not like that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, my dad went to an HCBU. He went to Bethune-Cookman.
Okay.
So
that's blacker than me?
I don't know about that, but and then my mom was from New York. She grew up in the Upper East Side. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm like very much American, like back several generations. I don't know which countries like my ancestors are from or anything like that.
A lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I grew up in Florida, like I said. So.
Oh, that's probably that Florida thing. Honestly, I have a friend from Tampa, and those people are weird. Not like
I'm kind of weird. I get it.
all the Florida people are weird, like every single one of them. So there's probably that. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
got it. So, like, as it relates to your comedy career and your autistic expression, if you will, I don't know if that's what you call it.
Sure.
But how do you feel like those things intertwine? Do you feel like it's good for comedy? I mean, obviously, a lot of comics are talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like it's important to bring like a unique perspective to comedy, and like I feel like as an autistic person, I've always kind of felt like I've been on the outside of things. Like I think it's like a lot of what comedy is like reflecting people's like reality back at them, but in like a new way, like an alien way.
Yeah.
And I think autism is like helpful for that because you like perceive things in a different way. So like as a Black person, I perceive things in a unique way. As like a woman, as an autistic person, you know, so it's like it all comes together, I would say, like. And so I think it's useful in that way. But, you know, it's also challenging because I think it's harder for me to come off as like charismatic.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's like crowd work is really hard.
I can see that. Okay, yeah, because crowd work is all about picking up on the emotions of the crowd.
Right. Reading the room.
Yeah, but you could just write your jokes and say them. You gotta be crowd work and all. Sometimes it's hard because you do have to do crowd work.
You kind of have to do crowd work.
Yeah, that's true. So sometimes it's a little hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might get good at it. You never know.
Yeah, I'm trying. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have faith in you.
Yeah.
So I love that you mentioned that. So like as it relates to like, because I'm trying to think of like someone said some tips online like that some people exhibit. Like what would you see someone do and you're like, oh, they're autistic?
I don't know. It's kind of just, I feel like I kind of have like a spidey sense about it. Or like gaydar. I don't know what you're talking about.
People do have gaydar.
It's like autism. It's like hard to, I don't know if I could come up with a rubric. I mean.
Like, name a thing that people do.
Oh, God. I mean, it's like, I guess people that like, if they're like really obsessive about something, you know, like, or like a lack of social awareness. What else? What other things? People who are on Reddit or Discord, for sure.
Reddit and Discord, they're all autistic.
Generally, yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you know when you see it, I think.
Got it.
Yeah.
Are there any risks to being autistic in terms of health or like life or like, okay. So
I mean, I think like mental health maybe, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm trying to, is there like, yes, in terms of like not interacting a certain way could have ramifications in your life, but as it relates to like health, like basic health, it's like cool, right?
I mean, it's not life threatening, like it's not cancer, you know, but
yeah,
I mean,
that makes
like,
sense.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just like psychological. Like I think there's like higher rates of like depression, anxiety, whatever. Yeah, because it's like the social aspect of it. Yeah. Got it.
That's interesting. What would you tell to like a young Dria that I don't know might be autistic, but like they're not sure yet? What would you say to that person?
Wait, what was the question?
What would you say to like your younger self? Like if you're like you kind of like feel like you're different, but like you're not sure yet.
I mean, just I'm trying to think of something that's not cliche. I mean, like
you could be cliche. It might be some cliche shit.
Just like be yourself. You know, like the right people will find you. Like you know, even if you're different, it's like you just gotta find the people that like understand where you're coming from. I would say, yeah.
That makes sense.
Like empathetic people.
Empathetic people. That is true. I think empathy is important. So where's that show? Not Love on the Spectrum. Wait, is it that show? Is it Love on the Spectrum?
That's a show, yeah.
That is a show, right? Anyway, that particular show, those people are autistic, right?
Yes, yeah.
So I don't know anything about. Listen, I'm learning. It's a journey.
I applied to that show.
Did you? And they didn't let you on?
I applied to what is it? Love Is Blind, and I was like, I didn't get that, so I'm like, well,
Love on the Spectrum.
I might as well take advantage of it.
There was a cute little girl. There's a cute little black girl in there. She was dating some. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody watched. Did you watch season 2?
No.
Okay, whatever. But it was a cute girl.
Yeah.
But anyway, Love on the Spectrum. So that was interesting in a sense because it made it seem like there was this community and people were dating. That's not true, right? That's just that show.
Yeah, I think it's just like that show.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe there is. I haven't been invited to it, but
Got it. That's what I was trying to see because
I don't know if I mean, it's not that I would want to date an autistic person, but like I'm not like seeking it out specifically.
God, okay. We had a stutterer on the show, and apparently they have this whole like community of like whatever they do. So now I'm like,
was it Nick or?
Yeah, Nick Viagas. I was like, does everybody have a community?
Yeah.
I was like, do I just not know what's going on? Okay, so you just out here by yourself existing, trying to navigate life like a normal person.
Yeah.
Got it. Do you go to therapy at all? Is there like a emotional wellness component to navigating autism?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in therapy for a while, but it's like kind of hard, I feel like, to find a therapist that's like experienced with it. Like,
really?
Yeah,
you would think at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, in New York, it's like kind of hard to find a good therapist, I find.
Wow, that's so interesting. I would think there'd be, because so many people are diagnosed with autism, you would think it'd be like this, like,
there's not that many resources for like adults, I think, yeah.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is there a benefit to being diagnosed earlier versus being an adult?
I think it depends on how severe it is, I would say. Like, I mean, some people need more services than others because there's like people who are like, they're really struggling. Like, for me, I think I like got along pretty well. Like, I didn't really need it, but.
Nice. That makes sense. That makes sense. So, like, some people who are nonverbal, that's like very, very extreme.
Right. Yeah.
And
they like can't like live independently.
They need a caretaker, if you will.
Yeah, but I think like on a higher level of functioning, it's like almost like a personality type.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The personality type, which is not just awkward.
Well, awkward is part of it, yeah.
Okay. But a lot of people are awkward. I'm really awkward, but like in a different way.
Like, I don't know, like hyper-focused, like maybe like a little bit like less emotional, like flat affect.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned that less emotional, hyper-focused.
Like outwardly, like of course, like I experience emotion, but like in terms of like expressiveness, yeah.
That makes sense. So do you always find yourself over communicating?
Yeah, I would say. I like as like a way to kind of compensate for it. I think I like try and explain myself a lot, yeah.
That could be taxing.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's also part of being a woman, I think.
Yeah, that's true too. So I guess we all have to do that. And then you mentioned hyper-focus. Is there anything like you're obsessed with?
Oh, I mean, I'm obsessed with comedy.
Oh, isn't that all of us?
I mean, I don't know about that, but
are we all? That's what I was like. Are we all autistic?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I mean, comedy. I don't know. I mean, the internet, I guess.
The internet.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate the internet. You're obsessed with the internet.
Yeah. Well, I was on MTV's True Life. Have you ever heard of that show? It was like a docu series.
Yeah, I remember True Life.
I was on that show for internet addiction.
You are MTV True Life for internet addiction?
Yeah, when I was like 18. Yeah.
Wait, True Life.
Yeah.
Remember that show?
Yeah,
that show.
The one I was on.
I'm addicted to the internet. That's you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was you talking about on that show?
Well, I think it was like they had like a casting call on Facebook or whatever.
Got it.
And they're like, "Are you addicted to the internet?" Whatever. And I messaged them and I was like, "Hey, I mean, I'm on. I spend a lot of time online. I want to be on TV." And so like a film crew came down from Brooklyn when I was in high school.
Hilarious.
And they followed me around and like documented my life.
Were you really addicted though? Were you?
I mean,
just like hanging
we're
out?
all addicted to the internet, I think, but I mean, not you, I guess.
Try not. Well, I try not. Well, I have to because I'm always working.
I'm projecting.
I'm addicted to work. I'm addicted to like
right.
getting shit done. So that's why I'm on the internet. But as for the internet, just for the internet's sake, I don't give a fuck about it. But yeah. But essentially, as a society, yeah, we're all addicted to the internet.
Yeah.
So do you think you were more addicted than normal people, or you were just like addicted like we all are right now?
I guess I don't know. I was a trendsetter, I think. Like I was like before my time because I was like spending like, I don't know, 12, 14 hours a day online.
We all spend 12, 14 hours
Right.
a day online
Exactly. Yeah. So now I think I don't know. It was a period piece. Like I don't know if it aged.
God.
Like today is different, but
I love the true life. I'm addicted to the internet. Actually, true life. Everyone's addicted to the internet. Fast forward later. Okay. Awesome.
But I mean, I think like I always like was attracted to like being online because it's like easier for me to express myself than it is like in person. I think, and that has to do with autism too. So.
God, yeah, it is easier to because everyone has like a base level online.
Yeah.
Whereas in person, like, I don't know, it's more about vibes and energy. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Are there any like, I know you probably gave tips already, but yeah, like, I don't know, do you have any tips for like anyone dealing with autism right now? Like not a young person, just a normal person.
Damn. Do I have any tips? I mean,
you don't have to.
I don't know. I think it presents so differently in different people. Like, I mean, I guess you find your tribe, you know, like find people that like you don't have to like act like a different person in front of you.
Is there a lot of masking going on in the community, like trying to not appear autistic?
Yeah, I mean, I think I do it naturally. Like as a woman, it's like I kind of want to like meet people's expectations of me. And so like to have friends and stuff like naturally. Like comedy is masking too, I think. Like do you feel like you're yourself on stage completely?
I'm always myself, no matter. I can't not be myself. That's why I was like, maybe I'm autistic, but
yeah.
But I feel very much myself. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think for me, it's like sometimes I have to get into like a certain mindset. Like I am myself, but I'm like a specific version of myself.
God, the only time I'm not myself is if I'm code switching, not to scare white people somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the only time I'm not myself. But other than that, it's like it's really hard. It's you got to be some white people with some money for me to code switch that hard.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, Dria. This is We're Done Here pod. But is there anything you're not done with, pop culture or otherwise?
I think like there's a couple things. Maybe like jazz, I guess.
Jazz, wow! Nobody talked about that in years, especially nobody black. What you think about jazz?
Is jazz not like a black thing? Like,
it is, but like, have you seen some black jazz musicians recently?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I have. Everybody I see is white, but I'm happy that you still love the art form.
No, yeah, I'm a jazz musician.
Are you?
Yeah, I play saxophone.
Wow, I dated a white jazz drummer.
Yeah. Don't do that again. I mean, I've made that.
I would never do that again. That was like a random thing that happened, and I was like, is everyone who likes jazz white? Interesting.
I don't think that's true.
Okay, fun. I like how you're not done with jazz.
Yeah.
Oh, what about it exactly?
Well, I'm wearing my Alice Coltrane shirt.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And I love her. I like her more than John Coltrane, even though he's more famous. But what was the question?
What you're not done with? I mean, you're not done with jazz.
Yeah, no. It's spiritual jazz, especially. Like Pharoah Sanders, I really love. It's like a saxophonist.
Oh, spiritual jazz. Okay.
Yeah.
Black people still listen to jazz, y'all. Who knew? I didn't. Anyway, let's think. What am I not done with? Oh, so I'm not done with rewatching X-Men. Have you seen X-Men 97 by any chance?
97. Which one is that one?
So that's the new X-Men. That's on Disney Channel, like Marvel.
No, I don't know about that.
Did you watch the old one back in the Disney?
I watched the one that had like what's it? James McAvoy or whatever.
Oh, that's the movie. I'm talking about the cartoon, like the Genesis. Okay, so honestly, it's woke as fuck. By the way, like,
oh yeah.
Magneto, like I forgot he was mad Malcolm X about his life.
Exactly.
He's like, they take us. Like I'm just like, yeah, power to the people. But I love that cartoon.
Yeah, it's like Professor Xavier is like Martin Luther King or whatever.
Yeah, he's always like, "Oh, let's work it out with the humans." And Magneto's like, "They will never take us." Anyway, this new season just takes it to the extreme.
Yeah. And
Magneto's like, I don't know. First of all, Magneto's hot. I'm talking about cut up.
I can see it.
Hair. Like, he's always been hot. Like,
yeah.
What's his name? James McAvoy played him. No. It was the other one that played him. The good looking one. Anyway, I can't remember. You know who
Sir
I'm talking.
Patrick or something.
No, not him.
Ian McKellen.
I forgot. But anyway. The other white man. Anyway. He was hot. But this cartoon.
Michael Fassbender.
Yes, exactly. Michael Fassbender. Very attractive. But this cartoon Magneto, ooh. Praise be. Anyway, that's what I'm not.
If that's what you're into, I mean.
Yeah, for sure. Where can I guess find you?
I'm on Instagram as marvelous.persona. I gotta change
you really
that
gotta
shit.
change your name. Marvelous.
It's embarrassing. Yeah, I know. Marvelous. Period. Persona.
Okay, well, hopefully you can find that. Thank you so much, Dria. It's been another episode. We're done here. Thanks for sharing your journey with us.
All right. Thank you so much.